The Stanford career fair is packed, loud in a polite way. Then Ava Cole walks in, and the room forgets how to breathe. She is 30, all sharp lines and sharper decisions. Her black blazer fits like armor. Her badge says Nebula Tech, but everyone already knows. Ava Cole runs the most talked about company in Silicon Valley. She also has a reputation for turning interviews into controlled demolition. Lena Petro, her executive assistant, drags a rolling case of folders behind her. Reminder. Lena whispers. You promised legal you would not threaten anyone with lawsuits today. Ava doesn't look at her. I promised I would not say the word lawsuit. That is not the same thing. Lena mutters. The Nebula Tech line is a snake that eats its own tail. Students clutch portfolios like life rafts. Ava sits at the table, pen tapping once, twice, like a countdown. Next. Her voice is calm. Cold. Final. A student slides into the chair. Ava schemes the resume, asks 3 questions, and ends a dream in under 90 seconds. The student leaves pale. Next. A guy approaches with a plain folder and a plain white t-shirt under a denim jacket. He looks like he took a wrong turn on the way to a study group. His hair is a little messy, like he ran his hand through it too many times. Ava glances down at the resume. Elias White, Computer Science, GPA 3.9, Open Source Work. Yes, ma'am. His voice shakes. He stares at the edge of the table instead of her eyes. Ava flips a page. You built an anomaly detector that flags model drift in real time. I did, with a small team. I mostly wrote the pipeline. You named your repo please do not crash in production. Elias blinks, then gives a guilty half smile. It was a joke. Ava looks up, finally. His eyes are clear, bright, and way too honest for this room. He has the kind of face that says sorry even when he did nothing wrong. Something in Ava's chest stutters, like a metronome losing the beat. Lena notices immediately. Her eyebrows climb so high they threaten to leave her forehead. Ava closes the folder. Stands. The chair legs scrape like a gavel hitting wood. You're hired. Ava announces, loud enough for the nearest circle to hear. Elias freezes. Thank you. Which role? I applied for algorithm engineer. Ava steps around the table and taps his shoulder once, like claiming a prize. My private assistant. Start tomorrow at 9. Base salary is $120,000. Bonus eligibility, housing stipend, car allowance. The crowd turns as one. Whispers ripple. Private assistant. She doesn't do private assistants. Did he just win the lottery? Elias looks like his software has crashed. Wait, I have no assistant experience. You have common sense and you can code. Ava replies. That is more than half the executives I meet. A student in a suit behind Elias gapes. Excuse me, Ms. Cole, I have 5 internships and a paper at NorIPS. Ava doesn't spare him a glance. Congratulations. Next. Elias clutches his folder. Ms. Cole, I do not think I am the right fit. Also, I have not even finished senior year. Then consider this an early graduation gift. Ava smiles with exactly 0 warmth. And if you refuse, you waste my time. I would never. Elias blurts, horrified. Good. Ava points to Lena. She will take your information, tomorrow, 9, do not be late. Elias swallows. Okay, but I still want to do engineering. You will. Ava answers. Then quieter, like the secret truth under the steel. Just closer to me. Elias hears it anyway. His ears turn pink. Ava pivots to leave. As she walks off, Lena scrambles after her, half jogging to keep up. Boss. Lena hisses. You just kidnapped a student. I recruited him. Ava states. With a salary and a housing stipend, that is a kidnapping with benefits. Ava keeps walking. Her face stays composed. Her ears are not composed at all. Tomorrow. Ava orders. Clear the rest lounge next to my office, make it his workspace, and tell security he is allowed in every floor. Lena makes a choking sound. Every floor, including the executive wing. I said what I said. Lena squints at her. This is not about talent. This is about your eyes doing something weird. Ava stops, turns, and fixes Lena with a stare that has ended billion-dollar negotiations. Say one more word. Lena lifts her hands. Not a word. Ava starts walking again. Behind them, the career fair hums, but for Elias White, the world has shifted. He stands in the aisle, holding his folder like a shield, while strangers glance at him with envy and confusion. He whispers to himself. I think I just got adopted by a hurricane. Nebula Tech headquarters gleams in Mountain View. Elias arrives early, terrified of being late. Lena meets him with a grin that is too cheerful for morning. Welcome aboard. She says, handing him a badge. It has your face on it. That means you are real now. Elias stares at the badge photo. He looks like he is being arrested. Do I really get a car allowance? He asks. He hates asking. It sounds greedy. Also, he doesn't have a car. Lena winks. If you survive her, yes. She leads him through sleek hallways. Employees peek from behind monitors. Whispers follow them like dust. That is him. Stanford kid. Private assistant. Is he her nephew? No, look at her face. She is trying not to smile. Elias keeps his shoulders tight. He feels like a houseplant someone moved into a museum. Lena opens a door beside the CEO suite. A room that was clearly a lounge yesterday is now an office with a brand new desk, a monitor, and a chair that looks expensive enough to vote. Temporary setup. Lena teases. It will get upgraded as soon as you prove you are not a hallucination. Elias touches the desk like it might disappear. This is bigger than my apartment. It is bigger than my apartment. Lena mutters. And I live here emotionally. A speaker on the wall crackles. Ava. Lena says into it. Elias is here. Ava's voice comes back, sharp as clean ice. Send him in. Elias takes a breath and walks into the CEO office. It is all clean lines, huge windows, and a desk that could be a runway. Ava sits behind it, laptop open, eyes already judging him for crimes he has not committed yet. You are early. She says. Yes. Elias replies. I didn't want to be late. Good. Ava slides a thick packet across the desk. Your task list for today. Elias looks down. His stomach drops. The list is long enough to qualify as literature. By 6. Ava tells him. You will do the following. 1. Summarize these quarterly dashboards and identify anomalies. 2. Draft an agenda for tomorrow, down to the minute. 3. Prep the investor briefing. 4. Make coffee, hand pour, 85 degrees Celsius, not bitter, not weak. Elias lifts his head, stunned. That is not assistant work, that is executive work. Ava raises one brow. If you cannot do it, you can resign. Elias swallows. I can try, but I started today. Ava clicks her pen once. If you fail, contract breach is $1 million. Elias turns pale. $1 million. Ava's mouth twitches. It is a motivation clause. It motivates my soul to leave my body. Elias blurts before he can stop himself. Lena makes a strangled sound outside the door, like a laugh pretending to be a cough. Ava leans forward. Her gaze pins him in place. Do you want to work here, Elias? He doesn't lie. Yes. I just didn't expect to be this close to the sun. Ava pauses. Something soft flickers across her face, gone in a blink. Then show me you can handle the heat. Elias nods. Okay. The day becomes a marathon. Elias learns Nebula Tech has a different definition of urgent. He eats a granola bar at his desk and calls it lunch. He pulls logs, checks charts, and runs models until his eyes blur. Ava appears at his doorway every hour like a performance review with legs. This table is messy, she says. This metric is misread. This coffee is half a degree too warm. This agenda doesn't include the investor's allergy list. How do you not know he hates cilantro? Elias wants to cry. He also wants to succeed. So he keeps going. At 5:48, he sends the dashboard summary and the investor briefing. At 5:59, he places a cup of coffee on Ava's desk, hands trembling. Ava sips. Her eyes narrow. Elias braces for impact. Ava sets the cup down. It is acceptable. Elias exhales so hard his ribs complain. Thank you. Ava glances at the clock. Then, like she is annoyed that the day is ending, she says. You can stay until your report is perfect. Elias stares. It is 6. And Ava admits. You are not perfect. By 8, the office empties. By 9, the lights dim. Elias is alone with his screen and his self-doubt. Then the door opens quietly. Footsteps, softer this time. Ava enters in a simple sweater and dark jeans. She looks like a different person without the armor. She carries a stainless steel food container. Elias blinks. Ms. Cole. Ava sets the container on his desk. You have been here too long. I am almost done. Elias admits quickly, terrified she will accuse him of slacking. Ava's eyes drop to his hands. They are red from tapping keys. Her jaw tightens like she is angry at the universe. Eat. She orders. Elias opens the container. Pasta. Salad. Warm bread. It smells like comfort. I cannot. He says reflexively. It is too much. Ava looks away. Her ears turn pink. It is not a gift, it is risk management. Risk management. Elias repeats, confused. If you faint at your desk, I will have paperwork. Ava snaps. And people will talk. Lena's voice floats from the hallway. They already talk, boss. Ava's glare shoots toward the doorway. Lena. Lena laughs and retreats. Love you too. Elias eats slowly, warmth spreading through him. Ava sits on the sofa, pretending to read a folder. Her eyes keep drifting to him, then away. Elias swallows a bite and says carefully, "Thank you." Ava's voice is low. Do not misunderstand. Elias nods, but he doesn't fully believe her. Because no one who only cares about paperwork brings warm pasta at 9 at night. By the end of week 2, Elias stops feeling like a kidnapped intern and starts feeling like a person with a job. Ava still critiques him like a sport, but the threats get rarer. The food deliveries get more frequent. Breakfast appears on his desk. So do new clothes and a premium coffee machine with a note that says, "Stop suffering." Lena strolls into his office one morning, holding a folder like a gossip fan. "So," she says, "how does it feel to be the company's favorite stray?" "I am not a stray." Elias says. He is not sure that is true. Lena leans on his doorframe. "Tell me you have not noticed the pattern. She yells at you, then she feeds you. That is how you tame a golden retriever." Elias nearly chokes on his muffin. "I am not a golden retriever." Lena smiles. "Sure, you are a wolf, with puppy eyes." Before Elias can respond, Ava's voice snaps from across the hall. "Lena, come here." Lena sighs dramatically. "Summoned by the volcano, wish me luck." Company culture at Nebula Tech is intense, but also weirdly friendly. People work hard and then play harder, mostly because they are all stuck together. So when HR announces a Friday team event, attendance is mandatory in a polite way that is not polite at all. The event is at a rooftop bar in Palo Alto. Elias stands near the snack table, trying not to look like he belongs nowhere. Ava arrives late, wearing a dark green dress that makes the room go quiet for a second. She doesn't do cute. She does powerful. The dress looks like a declaration. Lena appears at Elias's side like a mischievous angel. Rule 1. Lena says. Do not leave her alone for too long. She will either buy something or fire someone. Elias laughs, then stops, because he realizes he is actually laughing. That is when Martha Moore walks up. She is bright, friendly and confident in a way Elias has never managed. She wears a market team badge and a smile that could sell ice to a penguin. Elias White. Martha says, delighted. I cannot believe you are here. I was your teaching assistant in systems, remember? Elias relaxes instantly. Martha, yes. You helped me fix my scheduler bug. Martha grins. And you stayed up all night and still brought donuts to section. You were always sweet. Elias feels his face heat. It was nothing. They talk about Stanford, then about work. Martha asks questions that make sense. Elias answers, grateful for a conversation that does not involve million-dollar breach clauses. He does not notice Ava watching until Lena bumps his elbow. Elias turns and sees Ava across the rooftop. She is holding a drink. Her hand is too tight around the glass. Her expression is polite, but her eyes look like a storm deciding where to land. Lena whispers. Oh no. Before Elias can ask what, Ava walks over. She does not hurry. That would look needy. Instead, she moves like a CEO approaching a hostile acquisition. She stops beside Elias. Her arm slides behind his back, not quite touching, but close enough to claim territory. Martha. Ava says, her smile sharp. Should you be working on the Q3 go-to-market plan? Martha's smile flickers. Ms. Cole, I thought this was a team event. It is. Ava confirms. And teams do not miss deadlines. Martha glances at Elias, confused. We were just talking. Ava's eyes do not leave Martha. Then talk on Monday, during approved hours. Lena coughs. Approved hours. Ava ignores her. She tips her head slightly. Martha, you are talented. I would hate to see you waste time. Martha understands the translation. She laughs awkwardly. Of course, I will head out. As Martha leaves, she gives Elias an apologetic look. Elias tries to smile back, but he is mostly stunned. Ava turns to him. Her voice is low. Why were you chatting with her? Elias blinks. She's my former TA, she was being nice. Ava's jaw tightens. You are here to work, not to socialize. It is a social event. Elias says, then instantly regrets it. Ava's eyes narrow. You are my assistant. Elias does not know what to say. He tries honesty. I am your assistant. I am also a person. I can have friends. Ava looks like someone told her gravity is optional. Then she says, too fast. Friends are distractions. Elias bites back a smile. Are you mad? Ava snaps. No. Lena whispers. Yes. Ava whips around. Lena. Lena holds up her hands again. Just observing the weather patterns. Ava turns back to Elias and for a second her confidence cracks. Her eyes dart away. I expect loyalty, she says as if it is about business. Elias studies her. He sees the tension in her shoulders. He sees the way she is trying to look cold and failing. Okay. He says gently. I will be loyal, to my job. Ava relaxes by a millimeter. Then she realizes what he said and stiffens again. It is not just the job. Elias's heart thumps. What is it, then? Ava opens her mouth. Closes it. Her ears turn the color of embarrassment. Go home. She orders, voice rough. Get rest. We have work tomorrow. It is Friday. Elias says. Tomorrow is Saturday. Ava glares at the sky, like the calendar betrayed her. Exactly, we have work. Elias laughs, quietly. Ava looks at him like she cannot decide whether to fire him or kiss him. She chooses neither. She walks away, back to Lena, who is grinning like she just won a bet. Later, around midnight, Elias is still in the office, because apparently Ava thinks weekends are suggestions. He is finishing a pipeline check when a mug appears next to his keyboard. Warm milk. He looks up. Ava stands behind him, hair down, expression pretending to be annoyed. Drink, she says. Elias takes the mug. Thank you. Ava pauses. Then, in a voice that is almost human, she asks. Do you think Martha is pretty? Elias chokes. What? Ava crosses her arms. It is a simple question. Elias stares at her, stunned by the absurdity. She is fine. She is nice. Ava's face darkens. Fine. She turns sharply. Focus on your work. Do not waste time thinking about market associates. Elias watches her leave, then whispers to the empty office. She is jealous. His mouth curls into a helpless smile. And somehow that makes the late night feel lighter. Lena decides, at some point, that her life is too boring without meddling. She also decides Ava Cole is a crisis that needs intervention. On Monday morning, Lena barges into Ava's office with a tablet and a plan. Ava does not look up. Do you have a meeting? I have an emergency, Lena says. You are the emergency. Ava's pen stills. Explain. Lena taps her tablet. I have been observing your behavior. You are in love. Ava's eyes turn into knives. I am not. You are. Lena insists. You recruited a Stanford kid like he was a limited edition product. You feed him. You stalk him with your schedule. You threatened a market associate for smiling at him. Ava's cheeks flush. I did not threaten her. You said approved hours in a tone that could freeze lava. Lena says. Anyway, you need a plan. I have a plan. Ava says. Lena waits. Ava keeps staring at her screen. Lena squints. Your plan is to keep him trapped by employment. That is a valid strategy. Ava concedes. It is a felony in at least 3 states. Lena says. But good news. I have compiled advice from reputable sources. Ava looks suspicious. Sources. Lena grins. Internet. Romance blogs. One alarming subreddit. Step 1. Invite him somewhere casual. Ava's mouth tightens. Casual is inefficient. Casual is human. Lena says. You want him to like you, not fear you. Ava murmurs. He does not fear me. Lena raises one eyebrow. He checks his email like it might explode. Ava sighs, the sound of someone losing a battle. Fine. Where? Your place. Lena says, too fast. Private, cozy, you cook. Ava's eyes widen. I do not cook. You have a kitchen. Lena says. And a staff. Ava narrows her eyes. This is a trap. It is romance. Lena corrects. Invite him for a weekend dinner. Make it clear it is not work. Ava sits back, thinking like she is negotiating a merger. How do I make it clear? Use words. Lena says. Like, this is a dinner, not work. Ava stares. I can do that. Friday arrives. Ava texts Elias. Come to my house at 7, dinner, not work. Elias replies. Yes, Ms. Cole, should I bring my laptop? Ava texts back. No laptop, no documents, just come. Lena reads it and nearly falls off a chair laughing. At 7, Elias arrives. He wears jeans and a button-down shirt. He holds a small bag. Ava opens the door. She is wearing a floral dress she picked because Lena insisted she needed to look approachable. Ava feels like a corporate predator disguised as a picnic. Elias stares. His eyes widen. You look different. Ava's cheeks heat. That is the point. Elias lifts the bag. I brought bread, and also, just in case, a flash drive. Ava's eye twitches. No. He blushes. Sorry, habit. Inside, Ava's dining table is set like a magazine cover. Candles. Plates. A bottle of wine that probably costs more than Elias's rent. Ava's personal chef has prepared pasta and salmon and dessert. Ava pretends she did it herself, because Lena said mystery is attractive. Lena also said lying is bad, but Ava chooses selective listening. They eat. Elias compliments the food. Ava tries not to grin. Then Elias asks, because he is incapable of not being honest. So what is the agenda for tonight? Ava's fork pauses midair. There is no agenda. Elias looks confused. But there is always an agenda. Ava sets her fork down. Tonight is a hangout. Elias nods slowly, like he is processing a new programming language. Okay, what do we do in a hangout? Ava stares at him. She realizes he is not pretending. He really does not know. Lena's voice echoes in Ava's head. Use words. Ava takes a breath. We talk. About work. Elias says quickly, relieved. Ava's expression hardens. No. Elias flinches. Sorry. Ava leans forward. Her voice softens, the way it does only when the door is closed. Tell me about you, not your resume, you. Elias blinks. My favorite, what? Anything. Ava tries to keep her tone casual, like she is not about to die. Food, music, whatever makes you happy. Elias thinks. Then he says, earnest. I like quiet places. I like late-night coding. I like old sci-fi movies. And I like blueberry pancakes. Ava's heart does a small victory dance. She keeps her face neutral. Noted. They talk for an hour. It is awkward, but also warm. Ava tells him about her first startup, the one that failed. Elias listens like it matters, like she is not just a headline. No one does that for her. Then Ava's doorbell rings. Marcus Gray appears, smiles at the candles, and immediately calls it a date. Ava denies it. Elias panics. Marcus drops off board papers and leaves, still grinning. When the door shuts, the house feels quieter, but also heavier. Ava turns to Elias. Her voice is low. I am sorry. Elias shakes his head. It is fine. Then, after a pause, he adds, carefully. Was it supposed to be a date? Ava's stomach flips. She can negotiate hostile takeovers, but not that question. She chooses honesty, because she is tired of her own armor. Yes. She says. It was. Elias goes still. His eyes soften. Okay. Ava waits for him to run. He does not. He looks down, then back up. I have never been on a date with a CEO before. Ava huffs a laugh. It is not a job perk. Elias smiles, small and shy. It might be. Ava feels heat spread through her chest. For the first time in weeks, she does not feel like a hurricane. She feels like a person, sitting across from someone who sees her. The Monday after the not-quite date, everything breaks. At 9:12 a.m. Nebula Tech stock starts falling. At 9:14, Slack is on fire. At 9:20, a journalist posts a screenshot of Nebula's proprietary model code. At 9:21, Ava's phone rings with the sound of disaster. Lena bursts into Ava's office without knocking. Boss, we have a leak. Ava stands so fast her chair rolls back. What leaked? Lena swallows. The core recommendation model, the one we spent 3 years building. Ava's face goes pale, just for a heartbeat. Then the CEO mask slams back on. Shut down external access, pull logs, get legal, get security. She turns to Elias. With me, now. Elias follows, pulse racing. He has seen Ava intense. He has never seen her scared. In the war room, screens show charts and headlines. Nebula Tech exposed. Algorithm stolen. Clients panic. Engineers talk over each other. Board members call in, voices sharp and angry. Ava listens, absorbing everything. Her posture is perfect. Her hands are white around her pen. Find the source. Ava orders. Now. Hours pass like seconds. By afternoon, 3 major clients threaten to cancel. By evening, an emergency board meeting is set for the next day. Ava does not eat. She does not blink enough. Elias watches her like he is watching someone drown quietly. At midnight, the war room empties except for Ava, Elias, and a few exhausted engineers. Ava sends the engineers home, then stands alone in front of the main screen. Elias approaches slowly. Ms. Cole, Ava, you should rest. Ava does not turn. If I rest, we lose. Elias swallows. He chooses courage. Then let me help. Ava finally looks at him. Her eyes are red, not from tears, but from refusing them. This is beyond you. It is not. Elias says. His voice steadies. I built half my life around finding anomalies. Let me look. Ava hesitates. It is rare to see her hesitate. Then she nods once. Fine, show me. Elias sits at a terminal and pulls the leaked code. He compares it to internal versions. He checks commit histories. He traces artifacts. After an hour, his fingers stop. He stares at the screen, then whispers. They did not steal everything. Ava steps closer. What? Elias points. They have the architecture, but they missed the calibration layer. And they changed one function signature. It is subtle, but it introduces a bias. It will degrade performance under load. Ava's eyes sharpen. Can we prove it? Yes. Elias says. And we can exploit it. We release an updated model with a patch that makes our version faster. Then we show investors the competitor's model fails on the same tests. Also, because they have our code, we can embed a watermark in the update. When they ship their product, it will be obvious. Ava stares at him. Then, for the first time in days, hope cracks through her armor. Do it. She says. Whatever you need. For the next week, the office becomes a battlefield. Ava coordinates teams. Elias leads the technical push. The patched model is ready. Elias runs the final tests. The results are better than the original. The watermark is clean. The competitor's copied model fails spectacularly under edge cases. Elias walks into Ava's office at 2 a.m. He holds a report, but his hands shake from fatigue. Ava, we have them. Ava reads the report. Her breath catches. She looks up at him, and the emotion in her face is not corporate. Thank you. She says. Her voice is raw. I did not think anyone could save this. Elias steps closer, heart pounding. You did not need saving. He says. You needed backup. Ava's eyes shine. She tries to speak, but her throat works silently. Elias swallows. He has been running from the truth because it is big. Now it is here and he cannot ignore it. At the career fair. He says. I thought you picked me because you were reckless. Then I thought you picked me because you were lonely. Then I thought you picked me because you were you. And I kept telling myself it was just work. Ava's breath trembles. Elias. He continues, voice soft. I was wrong. It is not just work. I like being near you. I like the way you act tough and then bring food. I like the way you get jealous and pretend it is policy. And I like that you trusted me when everything fell apart. Ava stands very still. Like if she moves, she will shatter. Elias takes a final step, close enough to feel her warmth. I want to be with you. He says. Not because you hired me. Because I choose you. Ava's eyes fill, finally, with tears she cannot hide. She laughs once, shaky and bright. Do you know how long I have been trying to make you say that? Elias smiles, helpless. A while. Ava reaches up and cups his cheek, gentle, like she is afraid he is a mirage. Then say it again. She whispers. Elias leans into her hand. I choose you. He repeats. Ava exhales and the last of her armor drops. She pulls him into a hug that is fierce and careful at the same time. He holds her like she is the most precious thing he has ever touched. In the quiet, Ava whispers into his shoulder. I am not good at this. Elias laughs softly. Neither am I. Ava lifts her head, eyes wet. Then we learn. He nods. Together. Outside the glass walls, Silicon Valley sleeps. Inside, the CEO and her private golden retriever draw a line in the sand. Not against competitors. Against loneliness. The board meeting is brutal until Ava presents Elias's evidence. The room goes quiet. The board votes. Ava stays. The competitor is sued. The stock recovers. By Friday, the office is buzzing again, but now it buzzes with admiration. Elias walks through the hallway and people smile. One engineer calls. Nice save, kid. Elias flushes. It was a team effort. Someone else says. Team effort my ass, you are the CEO whisperer. Elias pretends he did not hear. He keeps walking toward Ava's office. His badge opens the door automatically, because Ava made sure it would. Inside, Ava is on a call. She gestures for him to wait. Elias sits on the sofa, watching her profile. She looks powerful, but he can see the softness now. He can see the person behind the title. When the call ends, Ava turns. Her eyes soften immediately. "Come here," she says. Elias stands and walks to her desk. He pauses, still unsure what rules apply. They are co-workers. They are something else. They are not secret, but they are not loud. Ava solves it by reaching across the desk and taking his hand. Her thumb rubs his knuckle, casual and intimate. "I am taking you to the company gala," she says. Elias blinks. "The gala, the one with the press?" "Yes." Ava's mouth curves. "You will stand beside me." Elias swallows. "People will talk." Ava's eyes gleam. "Let them." Lena appears in the doorway like a summoned gremlin. "Sorry to interrupt, but I have to confirm, are we going public? Because I need to adjust the office rumor spreadsheet," Ava says, without looking at her. "Lena." Lena grins. "Okay, I will take that as a yes." The gala is at a hotel in San Francisco. Lights. Cameras. Investors with smiles sharp as diamonds. Ava wears a black gown. Elias wears a tailored suit that fits like it was designed for his confidence. They walk in together. The room turns. Ava does not flinch. Elias does, but Ava squeezes his hand once, grounding him. A reporter corners them. Ava says. "He is not just my assistant." Elias adds. "And she is not just my boss." The room explodes into whispers. Lena claps silently from the side. Later, on stage, Ava gives a speech. She talks about resilience, about innovation, about trust. Then she looks at Elias in the crowd, and her voice softens. "I want to thank someone," she says. "He is brilliant. He is kind. When I was at my worst, he stood beside me and did not run. Elias, thank you for choosing this. Thank you for choosing me." The applause hits like a wave. Elias walks up to the stage, heart pounding, and takes the microphone. "I did not plan to fall for a CEO," he says, and laughter ripples. "I did not plan to get hired like a hostage. But I did plan to work hard. And somewhere between deadlines and midnight noodles, I realized she sees me. Not as a resume, not as a role, as me. So yes," he says, looking at Ava. "I choose you, again." Ava's eyes shine. She steps forward and kisses him. It is not a corporate move. It is just them, finally, out in the open. After the gala, they drive back over the Bay Bridge. The city lights glitter on the water. Elias holds Ava's hand and says. "So, now that everyone knows, you cannot threaten people with approved hours anymore." Ava scoffs. "I can threaten them with actual hours." Elias laughs. "You are impossible." Ava glances at him, lips curving. "And you are mine." Back at Ava's house, they kick off shoes, drop jackets, and collapse onto the couch. It is quiet. Safe. Elias says. "You promised blueberry pancakes." Ava sits up, offended. "I did not promise," I announced. She goes to the kitchen with the determination of a woman attacking a problem set. Elias watches, amused, as she reads the recipe like it is a legal contract. She pours flour with too much precision. She cracks eggs like they insulted her. She flips the first pancake too early, and it becomes a sad, torn circle. Ava stares at it, jaw clenched. Elias walks up behind her. He wraps his arms around her waist, gentle. "It is okay," he whispers. Ava exhales. "It is not okay, it is uneven. It is charming." Elias says. "It is the CEO version of comfort." Ava huffs a laugh. "Do not patronize me. I am praising you." Elias says. "And also, you are getting batter on your sleeve." Ava looks down. Her sleeve is doomed. She looks up at him, eyes wide like she cannot believe this is her life now. Then she laughs, fully, without restraint. It is the best sound Elias has ever heard. They eat pancakes at midnight. They are slightly salty. Ava glares at them like they betrayed her. Elias eats anyway. He smiles with syrup on his lips. Ava watches him, warmth in her chest, and realizes something simple. She built a company. She survived every storm. But this quiet mess, this ridiculous love, feels like the real win. Elias catches her looking. "What?" he asks. Ava leans across the table and taps his nose with a fingertip. "Please sign here," she says, voice soft. "Exclusive contract, lifetime term." Elias laughs. "Do I get benefits?" Ava's eyes gleam. "Unlimited." He leans in. "Then I accept." Inside, the CEO and her private golden retriever finally belong to each other.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.